All right, so we are diving deep into the life and legacy of Quincy Jones.
A true legend.
Yeah, absolutely a true legend. He just passed away yesterday.
91 years old.
91 incredible years. We're going to be using an article from the Nigerian newspaper Punch
Okay.
as our guide for this. It's titled Music Maestro Quincy Jones Dies at 91. Published just today, November 4th, 2024.
Wow.
And I was reading through this article. It really paints a picture of a man who was
So much more than just a musician.
so much more than just a musician.
Yeah, his impact goes way beyond just the notes on the page.
Absolutely.
The article highlights how he was a producer, arranger, composer, entrepreneur.
It's like he lived multiple lifetimes.
Right. It's amazing.
Just think about it for a second. Thriller, Off the Wall Bad.
Oh, my God.
All Quincy Jones productions.
Yeah.
And that's just Michael Jackson.
Right.
It's not even
Tip of the iceberg.
the tip of the iceberg. We're talking 28 Grammys,
Oh.
third most of all time,
He's right up there with
up there with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Film scores, founded his own TV and film company.
Where do we even begin?
I don't even know where to start with this.
Well, I think the article does a great job starting at the beginning
Okay.
with a young Quincy Jones back in Chicago
Okay.
in 1933, and his journey started incredibly early.
Oh, yeah.
Get this, by 14, he was already jamming with Ray Charles.
No way.
Yeah.
14 years old, jamming with Ray Charles.
And even backing Billie Holiday.
That's like getting a master class in soul music before you've even finished high school.
That's incredible.
I can only imagine what that experience must have been like.
Absolutely. And that was just the beginning.
There's more.
He played trumpet for Elvis Presley's first TV appearances,
Oh, wow.
worked with jazz legend Lionel Hampton.
It's like a who's who of music royalty.
His early career is amazing.
Yeah, so he was exposed to so many different types of music so early on.
Right. And it really set the stage for the genre-bending career he went on to have.
For sure. But what was like the turning point for him?
Well, I think his move to producing and arranging at Mercury Records
Alright.
was a big shift.
Okay.
This is where his talent for not just performing but shaping the sound of music really took off.
Interesting.
Yeah, and, it speaks to his ability to transcend musical boundaries.
Absolutely. He wasn't just about one genre.
No.
We're talking Aretha Franklin, Donna Summer, George Benson, Dizzy Gillespie.
The list goes on and on.
It's endless.
And it's not just the names, it's how he brought his own style and vision to each collaboration.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid to blend sounds.
Exactly.
And the article mentions this huge accomplishment. He was the first African-American to be nominated for an Oscar.
For Best Original Song.
The Eyes of Love from the film Banning back in 1968.
That's right.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and that was the first of 7 Oscar nominations.
Wow.
To be the first to achieve something like that is incredible.
Breaking down barriers.
Right. It's a testament to his talent, but also highlights the barriers he broke down for Black artists in the industry.
For sure. And we can't forget his global impact. We are the world.
Yes.
Bringing together these huge names in music for this humanitarian cause.
That's a great example of how he used his influence for good.
Yeah, it wasn't just about the music. It was about uniting people.
Right. Using his platform to make a real difference.
Okay, so we've talked about his early career, his genre-bending collaborations, his humanitarian work.
Yeah.
But we can't just gloss over his work with Michael Jackson.
Absolutely. That's what most people immediately think of when they hear the name Quincy Jones.
Right.
Producing albums like Thriller, Off the Wall, and Bad.
Yeah, those albums revolutionized pop music.
They redefine what it meant to be a global superstar.
And their influence is still felt today.
Without a doubt.
It's hard to imagine the music landscape without those albums.
Oh, I know. It's crazy to think about.
But there's also this less talked about aspect of their collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
That 2017 lawsuit where Jones won $9.4 million from Jackson's estate over posthumous works.
Right. That's a great point. It adds another layer to the story. Totally.
Yeah, it highlights a side of the industry most people don't see.
Right.
The complexities of copyright and royalties, especially when an artist is no longer around.
It also shows how protective he was of his legacy and the contributions he made to those albums.
Exactly. He wasn't just going to let those details fade away.
So this kind of shows his entrepreneurial spirit, too.
Right. He didn't just make music. He built businesses.
And he didn't limit himself to music production. We've got The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, a classic.
Became a cultural touchstone.
That's right.
And we can't forget The Color Purple.
11 Oscar nominations.
11 Oscar nominations.
It just demonstrates his incredible versatility.
Yeah, he was a storyteller.
And he could translate his vision across different mediums.
And the article talks about how he launched Quest TV back in 2017.
Oh, wow.
An on-demand music streaming service Talk about staying ahead of the curve.
He really had his finger on the pulse of how people consume entertainment.
Even as the landscape changed, he just adapted.
That's remarkable. I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Oh, there's so much more to explore, especially his personal life, his family, his challenges, his resilience.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll delve into those personal stories and really get a sense of the man behind the music. So stay tuned. All right, so we've talked about all this amazing professional stuff, but yeah, Quincy Jones had a full personal life too.
Oh, absolutely. The article talks about his 3 marriages.
3 marriages.
7 children.
Wow, 7 kids. That's a whole other layer to explore.
It is. It reminds us that even someone as accomplished as Quincy Jones had a life filled with family and all the things that come with it.
Love and all the complexity.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so his first marriage was to Jerry Caldwell, his high school sweetheart. They had a daughter, Jolie, but unfortunately the marriage ended after 9 years.
Okay.
Then his second marriage was to Ulla Anderson.
Okay.
And they had 2 children, Quincy Jr. and Martina.
You know, it's interesting how music seemed to follow him in his family life, too.
Right, like his son, Quincy Jones Jr., became a music producer.
Wow.
Yeah, and that marriage also ended in divorce in 1974.
Oh.
The same year, he married actress Peggy Lipton.
Oh, wow.
And they had 2 daughters together, Rashida and Kidida.
Oh, yeah.
You might recognize.
Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
She's hilarious in Parks and Recreation.
She is.
It's amazing to think about the creative genes in that family.
It's really incredible. And his family extends beyond those marriages, too.
Oh, really?
He had a daughter, Rachel, with Carol Reynolds, and another daughter, Kenya, with actress Nastassja Kinski.
Wow.
Talk about a big blended family.
It makes you realize that behind this public persona, he was also navigating all these family things just like everyone else.
Absolutely. The joys and challenges of family life.
But wait a minute, this is where things take a turn.
Oh, yeah.
The article mentions that he narrowly escaped the Manson family murders.
I know, that's crazy.
He forgot an appointment at Sharon Tate's house that night.
Oh my gosh, it's chilling.
Talk about fate.
Right, like what if he hadn't forgotten that appointment?
I know.
It's impossible to imagine what might have happened.
And then on top of that, he survived a brain aneurysm in 1974.
Wow, that's just incredible resilience.
It really is.
To face such life-altering challenges and still come out on top.
Yeah.
And keep creating and keep inspiring people. It's amazing.
It really is. And, you know, he never let these personal struggles define him.
Right.
He kept pushing boundaries, making this music that resonated with millions.
And influencing the world around him. His impact is undeniable.
I mean, think about We Are the World again.
Yeah.
He brought together these huge names in music, not just for the music itself, but for something bigger than himself.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't have happened without him.
It showcases his ability to use his influence to make a positive impact.
Not about personal gain. It was about making a difference.
Right.
It's really inspiring. He didn't just create music. He created opportunities for other people. He broke down barriers. He advocated for social justice.
He embodied the idea that music can be a force for good.
Exactly. And that's what makes him so much more than just a musician.
He was a visionary, a leader, a cultural icon. His impact will keep going for generations.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life and legacy of Quincy Jones, let's take a step back and reflect on all that he did.
I think that's a great idea.
He went from jamming with Ray Charles in Chicago
to producing Michael Jackson's biggest hits.
From composing film scores to launching his own production company.
Even a streaming service.
His journey is a testament to raw talent, hard work, and passion for music.
Yeah, and beyond the music.
Yeah.
His life shows us that we need to face challenges head on, embrace all the different parts of ourselves, and use our influence for good.
To leave a lasting mark on the world. I mean, think about it. How many of us have heard a song that he produced or seen a film that he scored or, you know, a TV show that he had a hand in creating?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
His influence is just everywhere.
It's really hard to even measure his impact on, you know, on our culture.
Right.
On music, on TV, on film. He shaped the sounds of so many generations.
He broke down all these barriers.
And he inspired so many artists.
And he'll continue to inspire for years to come.
The article describes him as widely and wildly talented.
I love that.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
He could connect with people through music across genres.
Across generations, across the world.
That's incredible.
He was a true original.
Yeah.
His absence is going to be felt by so many.
Absolutely. But his music will live on.
That's right. We can put on a record, watch a film, listen to a TV show, and still feel him there.
That's beautiful. So, As we're reflecting on this life, I think it's time for a little introspection.
Okay.
What's one Quincy Jones creation that has had the biggest impact on your life?
And why? What a great question.
Was it the magic of Thriller that first sparked a love of music for you?
Yeah.
Or the social message of We Are the World that made you want to go out there and make a difference?
Maybe it was the humor of Fresh Prince
Right.
that brought you joy, or the color purple that moved you to tears. Take a moment just to appreciate the gift of Quincy Jones's artistry,
Yeah, think about how it's affected your life.
because it's a reminder that one person can have a huge impact on the world.
Right. His legacy shows that music has the power to do so much, to go beyond boundaries, to inspire hope, and to bring people together.
And that message is going to keep resonating long after the music is over.
That's the beauty of a life like Quincy Jones's. It just keeps giving.
Inspiring, teaching, uplifting even after he's gone.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to check out Quincy Jones's amazing legacy.